country music star Neil McCoy, Longview, good guy to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Can I tell about this hat? There's a young fella. I play a big festival in Wisconsin, and a young fella came to me as I was going on stage. It's about 40,000 people, and he called me my band was out on stage. He said, come here. I got over to him, and he said, sir, we saw you in Iraq on one of your USO tours. We ran back to the base and caught your show, and he said, me and my gunner were there, and he said, my gunner got killed about a month later. And he said, this was his hat, and his family, and I would be honored if you'd wear it sometime. So I wore it. It was the only hat I wore for about 4 years straight, and then it started getting a little threadbare, so I took it off, but I sure wanted to wear it today. If you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America. Thanks for being here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you. And now we have the singing of the national anthem, Kim Donnett.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'm the mayor of Longview, and I'm privileged to be up here today. I apologize, I lost my voice yesterday. They told me I had to introduce the governor, and it kind of makes you scared. I'm still scared of him. He used to push me in the creek when he lived on Hoyt Drive when he was a kid. He was a nice guy back then. He's a much nicer guy now. On behalf of the city of Longview, I want to thank everyone for joining us today for this day of thanks and remembrance. I want to offer a personal thank you to the folks with the Veterans Recognition Foundation, a nonprofit organization that saw the need for this great Veterans Memorial Plaza and worked with the city to make it a reality. I truly believe this plaza is a little-known gem in our state. It is a great example of what can happen when nonprofit groups, businesses, and government work together to make the change they want to see in our communities. We pause specifically today to say thank you to the brave men and women that made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve our freedoms. For East Texans, this plaza allows those from across the region to remember throughout the year the high cost of our liberty and the bravery of those who serve to protect and defend our nation. It's my honor today to introduce you to our featured guest, the 48th Governor of the state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott. For us in Longview, it's a special privilege to have Governor Abbott here with us, because we aren't just welcoming a prominent politician to our community, we're welcoming home a friend, a teammate, a former neighbor. Long before the governor went to Austin, he was a Longview kid playing and learning right here as part of our local Boy Scout troop. Even though the capital is much nicer, I'm sure that many days he'd wish he's back in that cabin by himself. Governor Abbott's trajectory is not surprising if you look back on it. Boy Scouts are known for the Scout Law, and now Governor Abbott helps guide all laws for our state. Boy Scouts learn the craft to complete complex knots. Now Governor Abbott deals regularly with the complexities of state budgets and legislations. Boy Scouts live by the Scout Oath. Now that a governor has given another oath, one to serve, protect, and defend the nation and our great state. For Governor Abbott, that oath directs how he lives and leads our state. Those who remember here today also took an oath to defend our nation. They gave their all to honor that commitment. After spending his youth here in Longview, Governor Abbott moved with his family to Duncanville, where he graduated and was named most likely to succeed. That's kind of surprising, isn't it? He earned his undergraduate degree from the University of Texas in 1981 and his law degree from Vanderbilt University Law School in 1984. After working in private law, he served as a judge in the 129th District Court and then the Texas Supreme Court before being elected Attorney General in 2002. In 2014, he was elected by the voters to lead the state of our state as the 48th governor of the state of Texas. He got it, on and on. Okay, big deal, everybody could do it, okay? So congratulations, way to go. Okay. But wait. This little thing I'm holding, this is success. This is an accomplishment. Coveted by thousands, possessed by only a few. 2 small words, 4 little letters. It says it all. City Champs, LBBA, Longview Boys Baseball Association. If you hold one of these, you have made it in life. This goes with you everywhere. It sits on your desk at school, goes to church, it's in your backpack. It goes to sleep with you at night. I'm honored to give this to Governor Abbott. This is mine. I know it seems like an incredible sacrifice, and it is. But I know he will proudly display this in the governor's mansion next to all his other prized possessions. And I'll come see it up there. And one day, this might reside in the Oval Office, and I will definitely come see it there. So, as I say goodbye to this little fella, it's sad, but I have 3 more, it's okay. All seriousness, isn't this amazing that we could be here today with the most powerful man in our state government? We can laugh with him, we can joke with him, but it's all out of true love, admiration, respect from my heart. There could not be a more dedicated, compassionate, caring, humble, driven servant fighting every single day for you and me. And for that, I say thank you. So please welcome the governor of the great state of Texas, Greg Abbott.
Howdy, Longview. So I want to thank your great mayor, Andy Mack, for this award, this trophy. It is going to be going up in the governor's office at the state capitol. If ever you visit there, you'll get to see it. Interestingly, it's going to be alongside something else that I received from Longview, Texas. You may remember a couple of years ago, the Longview Lobos won the state championship. And when they did, we hosted them at the state capitol, and I received a Longview Lobo football helmet that is on top of one of our areas in the governor's office of the state capitol. This is going right next to the Longview Lobo state championship helmet. So obviously we're here today to talk about Memorial Day, and I want to visit with you about that. But first I want to mention a couple of other things. One is, as Andy talked about, I grew up here as a kid. And we all know that when you're growing up, the memories that you have as a kid never fade. They're the most cherished things that a child does have. And two of the most prominent memories that I have growing up as a kid was, for one, playing baseball. Now, I spent time with Andy. I spent time with his brother Chris. And also I spent time playing baseball against a guy named Jimmy Wright. I don't know if Jimmy is here today or not, but growing up as a kid, playing Little League baseball here, and being immersed in it, and winning games, losing games, getting a snow cone after you win or lose. The best times in the entire world. Memories that I carry with me to the Capitol every single day. The other thing is growing up in that cabin, Troop 201, that I was so proud to be a part of. But I want to take a moment and commend the entire community of Longview for preserving and perpetuating this area. It was this area where we would walk down for the cabin and wander into the lake, and it was not nearly as good looking as it is now. And that's the point. It was pretty different back in the late 1960s, early 1970s when I was here. To be able to come here today and see the backdrop that I get to see, I think there is no more beautiful place in the entire state of Texas to be today and to celebrate Memorial Day than in this setting of what you all have been able to create here. One other quick thing before I make some brief comments. One thing a governor is supposed to do is to read the room. And in reading the room, there are a lot of people fanning themselves who are pretty hot. And so I'm going to cut my remarks to no more than 2 hours. But it will not be long. But before I do, moments ago I talked about growing up here as a kid. And kids are on my mind today because of what happened in Uvalde, Texas. There was a young girl who was an all-star baseball player herself who lost her life in that shooting. There are kids who work during the course of the school year waiting to get out of the school year so that they can have fun in the summertime. Kids who are not having fun. Parents who've lost the joy of their life. So as we gather today on this Memorial Day, I have a special request for you as well as everybody across the state of Texas. I ask that you keep in your prayers the people of Uvalde, Texas. What happened in Uvalde was a horrific act of evil. And as Texans, we must come together and lift up Uvalde and support them in every way that we possibly can. It is going to take time to heal the devastation that the families there have gone through and are going through. But be assured, we will not relent until Uvalde recovers. We are Texas, and Texans will unite. Well, I'm honored to join you on this Memorial Day at this wonderful setting to show our enduring respect for all who died in service to our great nation. We all understand that America is a symbol. It is a symbol across the entire globe of freedom, of opportunity, and hope. From our nation's very beginning, the United States military has safeguarded those sacred values. And today we honor the heroes who gave their all to fight for those values. Those who went into harm's way to protect the American way. You know, when you think about it, there is an arc in the story of America. And that arc bends toward freedom. From Valley Forge to Vicksburg, from the Civil War to civil rights, from the Cold War to the War on Terror, Americans have always remembered that freedom is worth fighting for. And America remains the greatest force for freedom the world has ever known, and that freedom has been preserved, protected, and defended by the mightiest military in the history of the entire world. In times of war as well as in times of peace, there have been heroes who have stepped up. It's important to remember that those heroes are mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters. They stand in the face of danger and they protect us from all that threatens, sacrificing so much and asking so little in return other than respect for the freedom for which they fought. And that respect, it runs deep for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the United States of America. They may not be with us today, but their legacy will remain with us every single day forever in the history of the United States of America. And let me emphasize this. To all who have served and to those who still serve today, we must offer more than just the gratitude of a very grateful nation. We must honor our commitments to those who answer the call of duty. As much as we remember those who never returned, our country must rededicate our commitment to care for those who do return from the battlefields. And we must also honor our commitments to the families of those who served along the side of those who did not return. They were waiting, hoping, praying each day and every night for their loved one to return home. Too many never returned home. And let me add this. While we memorialize the brave men and women who sacrificed their lives for our freedom, we also take a moment today to thank our first responders who risked their own lives, ensuring safety and security for us here in the homeland. They too put their lives on the line for our communities and our country and deserve our gratitude. Several years ago, when I first visited the National Cemetery over in Dallas, Texas, I spoke with the caretaker, and he told me that for each soldier buried there, he wished that he could shake their hand and thank them for what they did. But he said you can't, because it's too late. But what we can do is live our lives that deserve their deeds. So as we gather today, we thank God for all who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. For through the fire of their sacrifice, our freedom has been preserved. And we ask for God's blessings and comfort for the families of the fallen. And we rededicate ourselves to the cause for which they fought and they died. May we never forget the price they paid so that we can be free. May God bless all who have served, and may He forever bless the United States of America. God bless.